Hello, everyone. My name is Scott Gonzalez. I run Graviton Growth Partners. We help AI businesses who are in the B2B space. Anyways, just wanted to talk about something really quickly, something I've experienced today, and that is basically to not act on emotions. I'm talking in the sense of being an entrepreneur. So let me give you some context. So today, we ran a campaign for our business, and the whole thing about this is basically to not change anything that's not broken, and if you do change something, change one thing and leave the rest the same. So what I mean by this is we had a campaign, and we had the first email. Mind you, this is the second day since we launched this campaign, so none of the metrics matter because the campaign hasn't fully run through. Anyways, I was kind of acting on emotion just because I was a little excited. I saw that the first variances of the emails that were sent, the open rate was kind of low, which was kind of weird because I know this subject line that we use has worked before and has worked for other people, and it works. This is basically what I'm saying. And in this moment, it was just doing terrible, and I was wondering, like, man, is it like the subject line? Is it my leads? Is it my deliverability? Like, what is it? And then when I get into emotional kind of moments where I want to act on it, I kind of take two steps back and just kind of breathe, take a little bit of time for myself, and just, kind of get in a different headspace so then I can come back, I can think of it logically. So I did. I come back, I'm like, okay, why was I feeling like this earlier? Why was I looking at so many different things that's making this campaign perform terribly? In reality, it wasn't performing terribly. It was the second day since the campaign has launched. So like I said, the metrics don't mean anything because it's only the second day. The campaign hasn't even gone through the whole sequence it normally goes through. It has like a 4-step process. It hasn't gone through it. It was on the first step. And I was like, okay, so that's one major thing is none of this matters because it hasn't gone through yet. Another thing is if there was something that was off, like one key performing thing, which would be the open rate, why do I care about what's inside of the email? Who are the leads? Like, in these scenarios, if you are going to change something, you need to change one thing at a time, one key thing at a time. So if I change the subject line and then I change the leads, that messes up your whole metrics just because you're changing two variables at one time. Like, that's going to just mess everything up. Another thing is, before you even change anything, just double the volume, right? So at this point, I had 400 messages sent out with this exact subject line, and my open rate was 26%. Our KPI is around 60% open rate, which means it's good. And I look back, I'm like, now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of funny because that same exact subject line that we use in this campaign, I've used previously after I've contacted 2,000 people with that same exact subject line and had an 80% open rate. It's funny because those are 2,000 people, very similar industries, 2,000 people, 80% open rate. This one I contacted 400 people, 26% open rate. And now that I think about it, it's hilarious because all I needed to do for this campaign, which I've done, because I haven't done anything because I haven't let it go through. But if I did, I would just increase the volume first. Once I increase the volume, I double check. I'm like, okay, did it perform good or bad? Comparing it to the KPI numbers, the key performance indicators. All right, so it did terrible, with the KPIs. Okay, let's just increase the volume. After we increase the volume, okay, it did terrible. Now we tweak one thing at a time. Like, okay, open rate was bad. All right, we'll tweak the subject line. Okay, we go through again. Okay, open rate was still bad. I'm like, all right, increase the volume. Okay, open rate was bad. Okay, maybe let's check the email delivery. Let me make sure that's good. I'm like, oh, okay, half our emails are burnt, so let's fix that. Okay, we fixed that. Volume again, original subject line from where we began, because I'm like, oh, we changed the wrong thing this whole time. Keep the original one, change, fix the emails. All right, now let's run it through some more volume. Okay, it's actually performing. You see what I mean? So if we change all those things at once, if we change the leads, if we change the subject line, the emails, and we ran it through volume, everything will be messed up pretty much, because then, it's giving us weird numbers, because now it's giving me like the open rate is terrible, emails aren't going through, maybe it's the leads, who knows. So when you're getting like a lot of like, I don't know, external factors of these things going wrong, or what you think is wrong, like going wrong, you need to take 2 steps back and really break it down, take a breather. Like, okay, why is this reply rate down when this subject line I know before has performed? Okay, what else could make this, open rate go down? Oh, emails, like email accounts, are they okay? Are they healthy? Let's check that. Okay, so they are healthy. I'm like, okay, what else can make this open rate go down? Are we targeting the right people? Okay, oh, I see. We're targeting plumbers with email. I'm like, wait, plumbers don't really use emails. They're out in the field doing the job, right? So it's like, okay, so like now you're breaking down the bottlenecks and, double checking before you're actually changing anything. But like I said, before any of that, you could just increase the volume and see what's the actual bottleneck. And that was the whole thing I came, to senses about today. And that's what I wanted to share, because I've experienced it this morning and it's pretty funny. And, especially like hours later now that I'm thinking about it. That's just what I wanted to share for tonight. Hope you guys have a good night and a happy holidays, and have a good one.